Welcome to a Drop Tent Media production.
The Porcupine with Adam Nutter.
Yo, what's up? I'm proud to add myself to the thing. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Porcupine. I am Adam Nutter. Sorry I started late. It's not my fault. It's technically Matt and Laura's fault and the JC's fault of Pennsylvania. The LPPA, it's their fault that we're late. So you yell at them, not me. Give it to them. Thanks for tuning in, brother and sister bears, as always. Follow me at Adam Nutter on all the stuff right over here on Twitter, please, especially Twitter. So I don't want to really give a shit about. So just go to my Twitter and follow at Adam Nutter. Please subscribe to my YouTube, youtube.com/Adam Nutter. If you guys are sick of politics and want to just listen to fucking two comics make fun of each other, go listen to my other comedy podcast, Cult of Us, also available everywhere, youtube.com/Cult of Us. Buy a shirt, guys. That'd be awesome if you could go buy a shirt from me. Droptent.com/store. Get your sweet Porcupine shirts. I know my looper, Mark Bazzacco, just recently brought one, and he cut the sleeves off like the pure white trash he is, and I did it too. So, you know, brothers in arms right there. So go get your own shirt. I, of course, have my Top Lobster artwork shirt, Disobey Your Local Nutter. Again, droptent.com/store for all the shirt stuff. Not next week. 2 weeks from now, April 16th, up at the Poppin' and Chalfont, right outside of Philly. 2 shows coming out, droptent.com/events for tickets. Natalie Cuomo's headlining both shows, 7 and 9:30. And then April 30th, the big one, I'll be up in New Hampshire headlining the Shell coming out. That's going to be a fucking awesome time for everybody. All you free staters out there coming out. I guarantee it's going to be a fucking super fun show. Bringing up Neil, bringing up Blaze, Jesse Pedraza, our producer from Cult of Us. Promise you it's going to be a good time. Coming out to that. Again, all tickets, droptent.com/events. All right. Done talking. Guys, my guest for today is Laura Matt Hackenburg. Laura is the current treasurer for the LPPA, and Matt is the gubernatorial candidate. I think I said that right, for governor of PA. Their camera's off right now, so that's infuriating. Right before I bring them on fucking screen. So now I have to kill more time until their camera comes back on. Thanks, because it's fucking off. Can you guys hear me at least?
Yeah.
I can hear you. All right, cool.
It's just fucking with everything.
Never mind. They could hear us. We're good at that. So, guys,
Jesus Christ.
Welcome, Matt and Laura Hackenburg. Totally their fault the show's going off the rails and not mine.
Totally is.
Totally
it's my fault.
I can't.
You're an engineer. You build helicopters or something, right? And you
Something like that.
Out fucking StreamYard? God damn, dude. God damn.
Why?
If I'm working StreamYard out, we have a problem. And I'm a dumb person. You guys want me to pull you out and just do comedy vamping until you're ready?
Yeah, do it. No, I'm just kidding. I don't care.
No, I'm going to pull you out. When your camera comes back on, I'll pull you back in.
It'll only take a second. Okay.
All right. What do you guys want to talk about? Drop it in the comments. Trans in sports? I'll get banned from YouTube. You want to talk about that? What do you want to talk about? Yeah, you know what? I will talk about that. I was an athlete at one time. Not now. As you can tell, I have zero muscle definition. Zero. Look at that. I'm flexing right now. I'm flexing right now. You can't even tell. It's bad. But when I was an athlete back in my early 20s, I used to play football. I do mixed martial arts and shit. I actually had like a fucking mini 4-pack going on. And I was like fucking ripped. I was in shape. It was awesome. And I mean, football, I guess there was never ever like a female component. But yeah, Bill, my camera does shake. Hey, I don't have a great setup. Okay. I'm working on it. All my shit's in the studio and I'm lazy. I don't go there anymore. So I'm home. I got to get more stuff. I'll figure it out, Bill. All right. I'm on it. I won't shake my fucking thing. God damn. Anyway, MMA. Oh, and of course, Matt and Laura come back. All right. What up? We're going to do an episode on that, though. You know what? I'm dedicating that. We're going to do a trans sports episode on this show, and we're going to talk about it because I have a lot to talk about that. But until then, Matt and Laura Hackenburg are back.
What a piece of shit.
Oh, my God. We're back. It's a very unpredictable situation.
Your camera came on, and I saw you in panic bend over mode, which is very funny.
Yeah, you saw my ass. I hope you enjoyed that.
I did.
Should put it live and put it on my OnlyFans. Just went live today.
Dude, is that what you guys were doing before?
Oh yeah,
You were on the
While
JC call.
listening to the JC call, it really sets the mood.
It sets the mood. I get
Oh
it.
yeah.
Yeah, I usually jerk off to like stenographers, like court stenographer tapings.
It's Wallenberg really gets me energized in the bed.
Well, does have tits. So so what happened in the illustrious JC meeting?
A bunch of grown children complaining and not taking the L like they should, and complaining and being an embarrassment for themselves. But that's my slightly biased opinion.
Yeah, he may be a little biased. He may have some. There may be consequence that relates to his life in this issue.
Yeah, trying to claim they care about the opinion of the delegates, what they thought, and when they voted no, they meant that they didn't want a candidate at all, not that they wanted different candidates.
Yeah, that's one that I struggle with a lot. Like this hump so it's either one of two things, right? It's either you are being disingenuous on purpose and you're purposely misconstruing, the nota to mean what you want to mean, or you're retarded, right? But like either one isn't a good look. It's not a good look either way.
Could be a combination of the two,
for sure.
I mean, yes, I agree. It just seems like it seems disingenuous. Why would you want to run no one now? I mean, maybe they're trying to get them to go back and accept the initial candidates, but why would you now want to run nobody?
Well, again, the disingenuousness, is that a word? Disingenuousness? It is now. Of them to be like, oh yeah, all we want to do is run libertarian candidates because you guys won't run libertarian candidates, if you guys win or whatever, the MC, and then we win, we put up it's not even like a full, Tim McMaster's not an MC. We just we voted for who we thought was the best candidates, and
Tim's great. He's working with us, and get along just fine. So this is not a pure MC versus everyone else issue. This is just fighting for liberty, trying to spread the message.
That's what I'm saying. So like the first thing we do is we win, and then we put up people, and they're like, we're gonna run the people we liked over you as independents. It's like, okay, right. Well,
and try to claim now that they're not interested in supporting another candidate, or they're not officially supporting Joe.
Yeah, I would just be honest at this point. Just be like, no, we're gonna do our own thing, and we don't care. It's like I would appreciate the honesty,
right?
But stop lying to me for the last 2 years. Like we're not dumb. Like we understand what happened.
It's like everyone knows. It's like they said, they're children, right? Everyone knows what they're doing and why they're doing it, and that they're all butthurt, whether you will, and they don't want to admit to it and don't want to take the L. So they just keep playing that they're like, no.
I'm sorry.
1 second.
This household. Listen,
we have dogs.
That is Matt and Laura. Let me just tell you a little bit. While Matt destroys our dogs, let me just tell you a little bit. Live is not a good look for us.
Oh, you know what the problem is?
Because it's unpredictable when two people in a household do this whole thing.
Yeah, no, it's a nightmare. I could tell.
There's a 3-year-old over there. There's a couple dogs. We're babysitting another dog. The house could catch on fire at any moment, I feel.
You know what you gotta do? You gotta put everybody down.
You
get everybody in the house. They're all gonna get put down. Kids, dogs,
right
anybody.
now. Everybody
get
put
down.
All right, let me go get my 22. I'll be right back.
Yeah, right. Oh my God. Okay, so that's the live version of the Libertarian.
I just want to point out that Laura decided that dogs need to be free and let them into the room. So
I did let them in.
Dogs need to be free.
Freedom.
I agree with Laura on this one. This is like couples therapy with Nutter. This looks like you guys called into me. And I was like, the dogs are losing their shit. Like the kid won't go to sleep, and I'm like, you should hit each other. I don't know. I'm not a good therapist.
Or I could just disconnect you right now, guys.
I mean, normally we just put the dogs and the kid outside, but apparently it's too cold for that.
It's really cold
so
today,
I don't know.
I have a heart.
Yeah. No, Joe Bissell, shout out my chair Bucks, saying, there are people who would rather see the destruction of the LPPA than to see Mises folks be more successful than they were. which is that's true. It's like they keep talking about progress, but they don't really want to see progress from anybody else but themselves. And again, what progress do they have? Winning fucking best dog catcher of like York County? Like, who gives a fuck?
And I mean,
So I want to meet Darla. This is our retired livestock guardian dog. She's a Great Pyrenees. She doesn't know what it means to be an indoor dog, but she tries.
Yeah,
Darla,
I love dog. I have a dog too. He's with my wife right now, snuggled up because he fucking is a little mama's boy.
Yeah,
My dog.
Man.
They're great, but if you're running for governor and everybody loves dogs, so like that's a good look. You're like, look at my dogs.
I have way too many of them.
Wait, we should run the dog.
We should run a dog for something.
Which one wants to run for governor?
We should run a dog for something.
You should.
As a joke.
You should.
Like,
Oh
why
yeah.
not?
Well, it'd be
Well,
the
it's
establishment
like,
candidate,
like,
right?
what?
It could be supporting the wars and the vaccine mandates and.
We should run a dog for dog catcher.
Oh my god.
Holy.
Matt, how about you get up and
One
go
second.
handle this
I have
for
to
me?
go and lay down the law.
And-
Which means again, hit.
and I'll
I'm pretty
try to
sure.
Entertain Adam. It's my
Or-
fault, guys. I did
Or,
have them
or
in the room.
brandish a firearm to the dog's face. Be like, you know what this means?
Oh my
No,
God.
I'm a big dog guy. I have a very soft spot in my heart for dogs.
Do you have a backyard?
No, but I take my dog to the dog
How?
park
How do you not have a backyard and have
because my
dogs?
dog's this big.
Oh yeah, that makes
He's a little
sense.
terrier, and I take him. I walk him every day, and I take him for like giant walks, or I take him to the Bucks County dog park, and like which I have to pay for because it's fucking fancy.
What? You have to
Yeah.
pay for fancy
Yeah.
dog parks. You have to pay for?
Oh yeah, fancy dog park. You got to pay for it. I have to like fucking put his like health paperwork in to make sure he's up to date and everything. Everybody does. Yeah,
Wow, this
that's right.
Is it expensive? I want to know.
No, it's like $40 for the year.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's like is it a state run thing? Like it
County.
because it's a park. Gotta love those county parks.
I know, but the free one is legitimate dog shit. No one takes care of it. It's a fucking
the answer.
nightmare.
Are we wrong? Maybe we're wrong.
No,
Shit.
I don't think anybody in Newtown gives a fuck enough to run it themselves. There's no reason to, I guess. But like, yeah, if it was
Nobody
run,
gave a fuck.
if someone gave a fuck, if
It
it
would
was run
happen.
a hair better, I would go to that one. But it's a fucking just chaotic nightmare mess, and I don't want my dog to get bit or
Oh
fucking
my God.
attacked.
All the South Side trash bring their dogs to that dog park.
Oh yeah, no, I'm a real cunt with I'll be like elitist with I'll be like, your dog doesn't look like it's rich enough to play with my dog. So
Oh my God.
like, who let you in here? Who scanned you in to get in here? You need a
Last
key
time you
card.
even went to the groomer, like, what
Yeah,
is
right?
going on with your hair?
Check your dog's nails. They are shit.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, I'm a
All
big
right.
dog guy. Cats suck though. Cats go fuck
Yeah,
themselves.
you know,
Fuck cats.
mostly
Fuck
tend
cats.
to agree on that.
Yeah.
We will not have a cat.
No, cats they're little murderers. They're little tiny murderers. This is the fun
Yeah.
fact I like to tell people any chance I get to. Anytime the cats come up, anytime, this
Oh, yeah.
fact will come out of my mouth.
I mean,
Guess how many birds domesticated cats kill in America every year? Just
Like,
America.
so many.
a shit ton.
Guess the number.
Metric shit ton.
Wait, we're talking the number of birds? How the fuck would anyone even know that?
It's an
um,
estimated number, but like they have a rough guess.
A million.
3 billion.
Holy
birds?
shit.
3 billion birds.
It's
Just
like
in
a lot of
America.
birds.
Just in America.
You,
Wow.
so you know what the thing is, like cat people, right? You always
weird.
gotta like there's something wrong with you if you're a cat person. It's not normal.
Yeah, no, you're weird. I said this on Twitter a while ago, and a lot of people agree with me. If you're a cat person, you're a communist. I can't prove that with science, but
I mean,
it
they're basically
just-
the same thing.
You just are. You're a commie, and dog people, you're a liberty person. That's just what it is.
I can say that dogs have been domesticated for a lot longer than cats.
I don't know
So
if that's true or
when you
not.
have a cat and you feel like there's a small, tiny, wild animal running around in your house, there is. That's why. Because
Yeah.
dogs have been domesticated for a lot longer.
No,
So,
dogs rule.
Yeah.
Stephanie, to answer your question, where's the free dog park in Newtown? It is in Core Creek area, like by like right before St. Mary's Hospital. Very inside PA knowledge right there. Go check it out. Every outside PA is like, who gives a fuck? I don't care.
Now I'm like, oh, maybe the free dog park isn't so bad. She wants to go there.
The free dog park. Oh, the free one. Oh, I'm sorry. I think you meant the one I go to. I think the free one. I'm sorry. It's not in Newtown. It's in Doylestown, I think. Sorry, not Newtown, Doylestown. Sorry, but it's in Bucks
God,
County.
I'm not
So the JC hearing was a mess. Is it still going on, or is it over?
It just ended. Yeah,
Oh,
ended at just before we got on.
So all right. So just people complaining that they lost and all that shit, and you couldn't.
Wasting everyone's time, and major respect to the guys on JC, especially Johannes, like to put up with that amount of bullshit, the endless stream of bullshit, and to continue acting in a professional manner is just it's a real show of character in class.
Yeah,
It's really
Johannes, he's so like cool and like suave. Like he's playing like guitar, like in his fucking JC hearing, like slicking back with his fucking cool salt and pepper old man hair.
I can't even imagine that man upset about anything. He's just like so collected.
Yeah. So Laura, let me ask you this: how do you enjoy your time so far as treasurer of the LPPA?
Enjoy. That's the operative word there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine, I guess. It's a lot of work right now. But I honestly think that once everything is established a little bit, it will get a lot easier. But I don't know. Yeah, same old contention, that everyone knows about. But otherwise,
this is Laura being classy and being polite.
I am never not classy. Okay. I'm just trying to be. I mean, it's drama and sucks.
Yeah.
But.
Have you gotten control of everything officially yet?
I don't know what all exists, but I've gotten control of most things.
And can I ask why you don't know what all exists? I mean, that's a leading on question.
I'm not all knowing, and I don't know the records that exist for the for the all of PPA history. But I don't think Nicole did either, really.
No, I'm saying that, but I'm saying you don't know because you didn't get all the stuff, right? Like you just didn't get.
No, I mean, like I got a lot of things. I mean, I can't. I don't know what paperwork and stuff exists that I have not received.
Right. That's the worrying part.
Yeah.
You don't know what you don't know.
Right.
Know. You'll never know.
Right. Because then we're going to hit with a letter one day from some Fed organization being like, you guys have to go to court. And we're like, for what?
That usually is a good indicator that there is something else.
Yeah.
Pound me in the ass prison.
That's where you're going.
Federal pound me in the ass prison.
Not just the regular prison.
Okay, what movie is that from?
Office Space.
Thank you. God damn it. Yes. Oh man, I'm so bad with fucking movie references. Like I'll know it, but I won't be able to pinpoint it. I knew it right. That's why I quoted it.
It's a key classic. It's a key.
It really is a classic. It really is a cult classic movie.
Yeah, it's truly great.
Kung fu movies. I'll get roasted in the comments.
Two girls at the same time.
Great fucking movie. What a fucking classic. All right, so you're still getting all your shit together for the treasurer stuff.
I'm getting my shit together.
Get your shit together. Matt, you again, you're the governor candidate, and again, I know you're already on a little bit before. That was more of a Q&A with Nicole and everybody. So now it's just you now.
Yeah.
So
a little more personal.
It's a little more just right to the point. And I think now your biggest issue, I believe, is all right. Well, I'll ask this question before I forget my own. Michael Mastrocola, if elected governor, would you instruct the state attorney's general office to investigate and prosecute the nursing home deaths of 2020? Oh,
most certainly. Yes, I would love to do that. I would prosecute the fuck out of everyone, and not just the nursing home deaths, but far wider than that, because there's many medical professionals, I think, just going along against their better judgment just because what they thought was the easy thing to do or a proper thing to do. This is what everyone else is doing, not doing the hard thing. And I fully support a Nuremberg type trials for, to be honest here, because we're talking about like crimes against humanity type shit. So yeah. The
Hackenburg trials, dude. That was sick. Just fucking executioner and shit. You just fucking pulling guillotines and shit. Dude, he's fucking sick.
I mean, like I already say, this is the 21st century. We have wood chippers.
Yeah,
so. We have to do it the new way, which that would be it. The Hackenburg trials be wood chippers, dude. Fuck yes. Yeah, we did something together, guys. We came up with a thing we're gonna do.
We do not condone violence without a trial. Yeah. I'm just kidding.
Well, no, really. Violence without a trial is bad.
Listen, let me just, since the COVID thing is like something I'm passionate about. It was just spin off what you said. I can't believe the cognitive dissonance that has occurred in the healthcare field, and man, somebody has to make these people realize that they fucked it up. They fucked it up. Somebody's got, I mean, doctors even and nurses and people I work with. I mean, it's just the total lack of informed consent. It's weird. And I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone, quite frankly.
Yeah, it really was a wild, like, I think pre-COVID, we were all in this, I don't know, like space of mind where we were like, we'll never just completely give up our rights. There'll probably be like a fight before that. And then we just did without a single shot being fired.
Because of emergency. Okay. It was an emergency.
Right. Grandma might die.
Grandma might die.
I was like, oh no, it happened. Like literally overnight, it happened.
Yes.
Like, it was so wrong.
And I've been an anarchist for a while, and I really was even taken by surprise. I was taken by surprise at how quickly and easily they were able to get everyone to just stay home and wear masks, and are still able to somehow, to some extent, do that. And it's just, I didn't factor in the whole psychosis part of the whole equation.
Yeah, seeing like the evil work itself, like through its timeline, like these doctors, you know, I'm not saying they're not real doctors. I'm just saying they're evil pieces of shit bought out by whatever the fuck agenda is buying them. That's what I mean.
But they're real doctors.
Right, they're real doctors though, yeah. So like these doctors, you know, they come on the very beginning and they're like, you can't even look at your brother or mother in the face in your own home. It's so deadly. And those same doctors are now saying like, guys, we got to live with COVID. It's like, these people should be fucking dragged through the streets like fucking Black Hawk Down.
I mean, it's pretty bad. Yeah. And that's the other thing I didn't predict, that I didn't realize how much it was going to suck to like hear the establishment's narrative flip like that to now where what I was saying 2 years ago is now the narrative. And it's like, they're like, oh, everything's fine. Nothing to see here. You know, oh, maybe the vaccine's good. Maybe not so much. It's like, what? Now you guys are just going to double down, huh? And everyone's just going to pretend that didn't happen. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I had, again, a lot of my friends are left leaning because of the world I'm in, comedy. So like, you know, I talk to them a lot. And at one point, one of my friends literally said this to me, which is the most cliche, like, line of all time. Just get the vaccine. Like, what's the big deal? He actually said that to me, and I was like, I'm like, you say that to me? I'm like, I expect a little more from you. That's just fucking lying, dude. That's crazy that you just said, like, what's a big fucking deal? And I want to make a point. I'm totally gonna get COVID now that I'm saying this, but like, I haven't been sick in 3 years. Like 3 years I haven't been sick because I have I have a good immune system. When I say garbage immune system, I mean because I grew up in Staten Island next to the dump. Not a joke. I grew up, not a joke. I grew up like the dump got taken away in like 2000 or like something like that. But I grew up with it maybe 2 miles from the dump my whole life. And we would smell in the summertime, like run off, like all that shit. And I would play in the streets of New York City, like in Staten Island and shit, you know, as a kid, not really wash your hands. Like, you know, and I you know, and you grow up and like, I got sick a bunch as a kid. And then your immune system just kind of kicks in after a while. And because I was legitimately playing in fucking dirt and filth, like constantly.
Like you're supposed to.
Right. And like to this day, and I've gotten shit on this for a bunch of times, but I will fucking die on this hill. I will only wash my hands if I if I take a shit, always wash my hands, right? Always. Any poop. If they're physically dirty, right? Like there's dirt on my hands. If they're like sticky or something sticky on them, I'll wash my hands. If I happen to pee on my hands, I guess I'll wash my hands. But like, you know, as a guy, it's kind of rarity. But like outside of like like I kind of just don't.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what's on my hands like that I'm touching? You know what I'm saying? Like it's, I don't know, build up your immune system, pussies.
Well, I mean, that's a really good point. In the 80s is when the healthcare field started wearing gloves because
you know Kyle did give me AIDS, but I mean I'll fight him off. Kyle did give me AIDS at convention, yes.
But yeah, I'm sorry. We started wearing gloves in the 80s because of the AIDS thing, and it's almost like, I mean, this is going to sound horrible for like a nurse to say, but we don't really need them for most things as long as you have skin. As long as you have skin, you don't really need them. And we don't really know what we're doing to our immune system by inhibiting germ intake. So,
Yeah.
there's something to it.
I don't know. I don't want to get pulled from YouTube, so this is a legitimate question. And this is but like, isn't it? Because this is what I think Dr. Malone said on Rogan's podcast. Because swore he said, like, if you didn't get the vaccine, then you could only just get original COVID. Like, you couldn't get Delta or the other ones because you never.
So there was a.
Am I wrong? I don't know.
I haven't looked at the data recently, but last I heard, like for Omicron especially, that you're significantly more likely to get Omicron if you had been vaccinated versus you weren't vaccinated, like substantially more likely.
Right. Because I might be wrong on this, but I could have sworn I remember him saying like, yeah, if you get vaccinated, then all the variants are, because that's what it's doing. It's like working around the vaccine. But if you don't get it, then you could just only get the original form of COVID.
And then you'll have natural immunity,
right?
Too, which we don't really know what happens with natural immunity after the vaccine yet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm fine. I've been fine.
Yeah. Well, so you may have had COVID. You don't know. A lot of people.
I mean, I
get COVID and they have no idea.
Well, I did get pretty sick like a few months before December of 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I guess that could have been it, maybe. Mm-hmm. But since COVID became a thing, I haven't been sick at all. So I definitely haven't gotten it unless it was that one thing in early 2019.
I think we were both sick very, very early 2020 before the Rona allegedly came to the United States. But Laura's experienced it in her job, doing the antibody tests. And I think you've had a number of people. We've actually tested our landscaper who tested positive for antibodies, but he never was sick. The guy in the 60s.
Yeah.
And there's so many people have caught it and they have acquired immunity, and they are never had symptoms or had very minor symptoms, especially younger people and children. And that you give these people this experimental vaccine that we have no data.
Hey, don't get it kicked off YouTube.
Oh, sorry. And it's, I mean, as someone who's like, I'm an engineer and work with data and numbers, the claims early on, this is what I was initially, in 2019, I was very pro-vaccine. Those dumb anti-vaxxers. Oh man. But when they came out and they started saying it's safe and effective, right from the get-go, you don't have the data to know that. You can't make that claim. That's an empirical claim.
That's literally impossible for you to say.
And that's a lie, right? And maybe it is safe and effective. Maybe it is, but you can't say that.
Right.
Say that it is a lie.
The fact that you're just straight saying it without any proof.
This is what
I also tell like all my friends who are like very pro this vaccine and stuff like that. I go, you guys just forget all the things you hear from the things that people you don't like. Okay, fuck all that. Okay, fine. I'll take all that and put it to the side. Look at these two things. These two things right here. One, you can't sue them. No red flags for you. Two, they just petitioned Congress to not release their findings for 70 or 50 to 70 years, whatever the fuck it was, right? Is that not, I'm just saying, now, is that not a red flag? Again, if you're just a critical thinking person, those two giant red flags. Now, also, I'm going to throw an addendum to the fucking second part of that. So if this thing is what they say it is, and it's so fucking, hey, I got to be careful what I say here. So fucking, Tony the Tiger, it's great. Then wouldn't they want everybody to see their findings? Right? To be like, hey, look, we can show you.
Want to share the data.
And also that would generate more money in their pocket.
Right.
Because, well, then everybody would get it, and then everybody would buy it. Government would buy into it. Private companies buy into it. We buy into it, right? They would show proof. But the fact that those two things aren't happening, those two red flags are just flying off there, and you guys aren't like, oh no, I guess it's fine. Like that's a fucking mind blower.
Look, Adam, you're getting a little crazy conspiratorial here. Everyone knows you can trust Pfizer.
And
they tell you it's safe and effective. Just take their word for it. It's safe and effective. They said so.
Yeah, right.
Why wouldn't you trust the government? I mean,
of course.
Or Pfizer. Just Pfizer. We're the government.
Yeah, exactly. From Magoo, trust us. We created this shit in the first place. Exactly. Like, yeah, it's like, of course, the company or any, even like, if I'm an inventor of something that's not even like a pill, just like a fucking, let's say this thing, this vape cartridge in my hand is like some fucking teleportation device, right? And I'm like, I invented teleportation, and they're like, oh, can you prove it? Nah, I'm not going to show anybody. Well, we don't want it. We just want to show. We want to show that you actually could do it. And I'm almost like, nah. And people be like, well, I'm not going to go in that machine then because I don't know where the fuck I'm going to go. Right? It's the same. I know that's a crazy hyperbole example.
No, it's a perfect example or an
but to extrapolate that out to anything else, and people wouldn't do it,
Well,
except this because the government, the news, and celebrities tell you to.
So here's the thing: we've all received 12 plus years of government indoctrination, and people have been trained from a young age not to be critical thinking and not to think about these things, not to have any kind of critical thought or any depth of knowledge or questioning reality. It's all, you look at like how science is taught in school. It's these are the facts. You memorize these facts and you repeat them on the test. And it's like, that's not how science works, right? Science is like, understanding and analyzing, like deducing knowledge. There's no deduction of knowledge in the way school is taught. It's all, these are the facts, memorize and repeat, memorize and repeat. And that's not like a functional way of gaining knowledge or information. That's not how you be smart, right? Just memorizing and repeating doesn't make you smart. And you have these people, these midwits, who they know all the things. They learned all the things, and they can repeat the things, and they think that they're really smart because they know the things. And it's like, if you can't like come up with things on your own, if you can't figure something out on your own, if you can't reason and conclude on your own, then it doesn't make you smart. You're just memorizing and repeating things. Like my dog can memorize and repeat things.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's like there's a really great political cartoon out there, and actually, I want to see if I can find it. But while I look for it, do you guys ever notice how like we say dogs are dumb, but like dogs know human words? I don't know any dog words.
It's a very good point.
Right?
Sorry, guys. We're sorry. We take back everything we said.
School test animal. Okay, this is a lot to type in. I got it. We're good. I found it. Okay. Go big. You go big. All right. I'm gonna share my screen. Sorry, guys. It's live. What are you gonna do? Okay, right here. Can you guys see this?
Oh.
Or is it too small?
Hang on. I can't read it from your
Here.
phone.
There you go. Is that better?
There we go. That's much better.
So essentially, there's like a guy behind a desk, and they're out in like the world, out in like like a safari area, and there's like a fucking little bird, a penguin, a chimp, an elephant, a goldfish, a seal, a dog, and there's a tree behind them, and the guy at the front of the desk is going, okay, for a fair selection, everybody has to take this exam. Please climb that tree, and the chimp is psyched. He's like, fuck yeah, it's my thing, and the elephant's like, well, I can't. The penguin's like, what the fuck? And this is a great representation of like the American school system, right? It's like, just because you're good at test taking doesn't mean shit. Just because you could copy, just because you could retain knowledge from some fucking teacher or some fucking curriculum, and be like, here, and then regurgitate that back on paper does not make you smart. I mean, I know a lot of people who are good at test taking. One of them's inside the other room right now, who I live with, and I'll be honest with you, I'm way smarter than them. So it's like, but fucking brilliant. My wife's a brilliant fucking like retainer of knowledge.
Yeah.
Not that she's dumb, I'm busting her balls, but like no, like she's really good at like test taking, like
memorizing and repeating things.
If you tell her like you have to learn this, and she's like, okay, like she'll just dedicate herself to do it, and like it's incredible. I don't know, but like then I've seen her not work on an iPhone, and I'm like, oh, all right, this doesn't really translate.
She's not interested in it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like, it's just, it needs to be fucking abolished. I mean, we do have some questions to go to. Let's go to JVW. What 5 things will you abolish first as governor?
5 things?
Ooh.
I mean, all the things. Why just 5?
Store.
I don't know. Let's do your top 5 because we can't name all the things.
Oh, geez. I don't know. Occupational licensing.
Ooh, good one.
The war on drugs.
Good luck with that.
Taxes.
All the taxes.
All the taxes.
We're not even.
The state police.
Oh God.
The
5th one should be something like bread. No one gets bread.
Like, no lines.
Welfare and the welfare system. Make them starve.
Oh man, not.
I kid. I believe in private charity.
Should be like everybody can't watch HBO Max anymore. It's done. Like just pull something crazy.
God.
All right, that's fair. All right, another one from Mike Mastercola. If elected governor, what actions would you take to keep our National Guard protected from participating in foreign wars? Do you support Defend the Guard? I know.
Thank you, Mike Mastercall,
yeah.
for your question.
I absolutely support defend the guard, and
Yeah.
I'm probably even a little more extreme than that. I mean, this defending the guard, I guess my understanding is it limits in declaration of war. We can send troops overseas. Frankly, I don't think the guardsmen should ever be deployed overseas. I think their duty is to defend the homeland, and there's no need to be fighting on the other side of the world to defend Pennsylvania, right? So I think they should stay here and where they belong. I would go even further than that. Like I would be willing to, or I'd want to support a system of providing protection and a sanctuary to anyone who decided to go AWOL, who decided want to leave their station in while on active duty rather, and to come to Pennsylvania. I would gladly provide them protection, because I think it's a lot of people are led into the military under this understanding of we're providing you college and all these great opportunities, and you're going to do all these great things, and then they take you and use you and spit you out. And it's, if someone realizes this and while they're about to get sent overseas, I think they decide they want to get out. I mean, I think it's good that we support that and let them get out. And there's the option, there's a conscientious objector route, which is not always very convenient or fair. But frankly, I think if anyone wants to avoid military and leave the military, even illegally, I would provide them sanctuary. And that's what I'm getting at there.
Yeah, no, even last night I did an episode with Tyler Yankee from Podcast Review. Go listen to that, everybody. It was a good episode. But we were talking about the draft a little bit, and like the select service and all, and like how they're talking about it more, and how like now women will be drafted and all this crazy shit. So I mean, you kind of answered the question I was actually going to ask you anyway, but I was going to say, like, if you do win governor, like, would you be like the Canada of Vietnam for?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, we would advertise on billboards, Don't want to die in war? Come to Pennsylvania.
Here's a question, because I don't know how this stuff. I don't know how a lot of this stuff would work. Like if it got to this point. So let's say, okay, yeah, you're governor and and they just do a draft. Let's say they want to go to war with Russia, whatever the fuck. Okay, whatever. And like we're doing a draft, and you're like, fuck that, you are. Like maybe the other 49 states are. We ain't doing shit. If anybody, right? Okay, so that's fine. We're there. Do they send the military into Pennsylvania? Like, how does that work? Like, and then who do we fight? How do we fight them back? Like, that's what I'm like. How does all that go down? Like, I don't know how that shit goes down. Like,
that's what the National Guard's for.
Okay, answer my question. There you go.
I mean, there's probably a secession. I guess. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I support secession. I mean, I can't stand the federal government. I think they're an abomination, and they're an atrocity, and they're illegitimate. And so, yeah, I mean, I guess. Would push for full-on secession, which in theory could be done very peacefully and calmly. And laws in the federal government doesn't decide to get all grubby and shoot.
Well, for all the lowberts out there who are like, you can't secede because it's a fucking thing, and they'll fucking take your way. You're wrong, because in the Constitution it says you could peacefully secede from the government. Like it says it.
Well, the U.S. Constitution is silent on it, but it was understood at the time, leading up to the Civil War, or the War of Northern Aggression, if you will. It was understood that it was a voluntary association,
right? Contract.
They joined this union and they can leave at any time.
I shouldn't have said it's in the Constitution. I meant like it's not like there's nowhere in the Constitution that says like you can't. Is my point.
So
like this, you can't. It's like it's not like and you can't go.
My understanding was. My understanding was when the U.S. Constitution was ratified, it had already been in state constitutions that they had the right to secede.
Right.
So it was like, and this was widely discussed leading up to the Civil War. And you look at the period publications and things and in discourse, this is widely discussed and believed to be, this is fine, this is perfectly okay. And what Lincoln did was, it was a crime. He went full tyrant, and what he did was unthinkable and absolutely illegal. And it was just justified, after the fact as, but the slaves, when in reality, there's no threat to slavery or anything leading up to the war. And it was only after the fact they needed a moral justification to come up with, like, oh, well, we're killing all these Americans because of slaves. Hey, flee the slaves. And it's like, yeah, that's a noble cause, but that's not why you're doing it. That's not why you're here. So we see the same thing today. We see the same thing. We're like, oh, but he's gassing his own people. We have to go bomb them.
Right. Right. It's nothing seeing your liberal friends' heads explode when you're like, Lincoln sucked. Even actually, you're right. You're conservative leaning friends too. They're like, "What are you talking about?" And
Well,
you're like,
it's
"Oh,
all
he's trash." And you're like,
You
and they're
know,
like,
you have
"No."
friends who know anything about history.
I mean,
Blaze. You know Blaze. You guys know Blaze now. He was a history major too.
Oh yeah,
Him and I both were, weirdly enough.
nerds.
Yeah. So he's somebody who's actually is good to talk to about. Like he knows his shit at least. Like he's not dumb at that stuff. So, but that's very rare.
Yeah,
Most
rare.
people don't, especially most comics for sure don't, because they're all fucking in a zeitgeist of fucking an echo chamber of bullshit, and they just get told what they're told, and they just fucking go off.
They have to signal that they know the right things, right? That they believe the right things.
Dude, this whole "don't say gay" bill thing it's infuriating me to no end. Like the
What'd you say?
stupidity,
The whole what?
the don't say gay bill thing in Florida.
I haven't
Like
followed
how
that
the-
at
heard
all.
this.
Yeah.
Oh, how so? No, I agree with the bill, but I cannot take the lefty response anymore. Florida passed a bill where you can't teach or you can't talk about any sexual shit to like pre-K to like third grade or fourth grade or something like that, which is like, yeah, great, yeah, that should be it, right? But of course, the name of the bill is a "don't say gay" bill, so every fucking lefty cuck is like yelling gay, like they're all like gay, 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 gay. I'm gonna say it like that's not what it's about. It's not teaching about kids. It's not, it's about not having strangers talk to your kids about fucking anal sex.
Yeah, and you know, like people regularly make fun of Catholic priests. It was my understanding that public schools are great, far greater rates of child molestation and rape. And
Just
and
throw
it's
that
like,
in there, Matt. Like
well,
the
no, I
mood.
mean it's something that should be considered. Like you go to public schools, when you send your child to a public school, you're exposing your child to all sorts of abuses and traumas and terrible, horrible things.
I
Up to
agree.
including rape.
No, I
So-
agree. The whole indoctrination of like the youth is I'll die on that hill. I don't give a fuck. Like I don't give a fuck about like. First of all, you can't cancel me. Like I already don't get booked places because of who I am. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're already not gonna hire me. It doesn't matter. Like it's already a thing. It's already out and established. So, if I say like I don't give a fuck about these people, like they shouldn't teach kids this, and they're like, oh, you're transphobe or whatever. I go, I don't care. Like that's not true. But like it's like I don't give a shit. Like I'd rather protect these kids, and I'll take your fucking hate. I don't care.
Yeah.
The kids are more important than your bullshit fucking, again, not reading any of the bill, not actually reading into it, just seeing the headline and like, seeing what these dumb fucking dumbass politicians do. It's crazy. It's awful. I hate it.
Speaking out of their ass with ultimate certainty and faith in their own knowledge.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
Never any understanding.
Oh,
they don't
I
know.
guess I guess I'll ask you that since you're talking about it. Would you ban any CRT or any of that stuff in Pennsylvania?
I mean, I would ban public school. I mean, if I had my way, to be
Yeah,
honest. I mean, I think the
Okay,
whole
yes,
thing is
but-
As a
abomination.
compromise,
Sure.
maybe.
The CRT is just the latest.
But we have to work our way down. So it's
I keep telling him that.
So yeah, I mean, I guess I'd probably ban that. I mean, I'm all for the use of state power to restrict the authority of the state. So I mean, that's
Let me play devil's advocate on this one from a philosophical standpoint. If we ban it, then all the teachers are just going to be afraid of getting in trouble, and then they won't talk about anything of substance relating to that broad topic. Because the thing about CRT is that it's insidious. It's through all the materials, and just it's virtue signaling, and it's little tidbits here and there, I think, right? And it's not like a class called CRT. Learn about critical race theory.
what CRT is it's like CRT influences how they teach, right? So they don't actually teach CRT, but CRT colors what they teach. It's like CRT is what they use to develop their lesson plans. So then they don't actually teach it. So they won't teach CRT.
They don't even know. They don't even know.
No,
A lot of teachers don't even know that they're doing it.
It's that their whole teaching methodology is backed by the CRT ideology. So they'll be like, well, here's a number line, and let's split your number line based on the amount of privilege you have. It's like, well, they may not necessarily be teaching like CRT, but
Every time they say that, I just think of all the poor white kids who are like, "What is this privilege you're talking about?"
Right.
Like, what are you talking about?
Mom, Dad.
If you wanted to like breed a whole generation of like extremely racist people, including white supremacists, like actual white supremacists, that's what's going to happen. Like you tell people, kids growing up that you're inferior because you're white and you suck because you're white. Some of us are going to be like, well, fuck you telling me that I'm wrong or I'm bad, and like I didn't do anything wrong, and then you're going to develop a hatred of your own. And it's really unfortunate because I know our generation, we grew up and it's like racism is like, that's not a thing, it's like foreign, it's so bizarre.
I did anyway.
And
no, it's true. It's true.
And it's like a reversal now. And I feel terrible for kids that have to be exposed to this idea that like, we're judging people on race again. It's so unusual. And
yeah, like I mean, again, I'm 35. I grew up in the 90s as a kid, and granted, I grew up in fucking white ass Staten Island, right? For sure, a bunch of Italian Irish kids like me running around. I get it, okay, but like no one really talked about, like, you had dumb Italian uncles and shit who would drop fucking hard R's and shit all the time, but like. Yeah. Outside of those guys, right. Like you didn't really see it or hear about it. And then I played football like my whole life, and I played with a lot of black kids, and I never really saw it ever. I mean, they might have. I can't say for their right, but I never like saw anybody be like fucking like I never saw it. Like I didn't. And we would push those balls, like joke around and have a good time. Like it was never an issue. Like
right, right. I mean, like I know, like I worked with people of all races, and we regularly tease each other on race. It's like I'm white, so I must murder my whole family and eat them.
Dude,
that's what white people do.
Stereotypes are funny.
It's what people do when you're working together as men, especially. We bust each other's balls, right?
Yeah,
and
dude, especially in football, like all the black guys be like, "Dude, you play safety because you're white and you're slow." It's like, yeah, it's exactly why I play safety, because I can't fucking play corner like you. Right. Yeah. Like, yeah, it's, but and then they'd be like, "Oh, your dad comes to the game." Like we would always do shit like that. Like all the fucking like we would always make fun of each other. Like, and they would laugh and laugh and laugh because it was just ball busting with your friends, and like we know it wasn't serious. We would go out drinking afterwards. Like it cares.
Right. It's what strikes me is that the people who obsess over white supremacy and racism, it's like you're the racist here, guy. Because one, you're thinking about race when no one else is,
right?
And two, that like if you're so like perturbed by these things, it's like clearly you've never actually hung out or have had any personal relationship or any kind of connection with anyone other than white people.
Yeah. So I have a I'm sorry for everybody who's heard me talk about this before, but. The whole punching down bullshit. People are like, you're punching down. This is how I just walk them into their own corner. It's very simple. For anybody out there, this is how you do it. If you make fun of a race of person or a disability of group of people, and someone goes, you're punching down, go, oh, okay. Well, what does punching down mean to you? Just ask them that. And 99% of the time, they will say, oops. Oh, it's like you're degrading something less than. I went, well, stop. What'd you say? And I was like, no, say that again. So you think a black person's less than us because we're white? Well, I think we're all equal, so everybody gets the roast.
Right.
But you are saying that these people, whoever the group is, can't defend themselves because they're so inarticulate or so dumb that the white savior has to jump in for them.
Right.
That's fucking so racist. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's disgusting
to hear these politicians patronize.
Yeah.
It's like unbelievable.
Like imagine me and a black guy or a Puerto Rican or me and any other race busting through those balls, and another white guy goes and says something, goes, excuse me, I'll handle this for you. No condescending that would be.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
If another man did that to me, I'd be like, we're going to fight right now before I fight this guy first. Like, we're going to fight now. It's like, that's crazy. Like, that's so patronizing. It's fucking nuts.
They treat them like little children, like little retarded children. And it's like, these are human beings, right? You don't need to treat them like that,
Right. It's like I go in, again, we are all equals. Disabilities, no disabilities, the color of your skin, I don't give a fuck. Race, creed, don't give a shit. We're all people. I'm gonna judge you off the content of your character. Yeah. If you could fucking bust my balls and I can bust your balls, we are already cool. We're already cool together. Like, I don't need any more than that. As soon as anybody else starts to fucking chirp their bullshit racist nonsense, get the fuck out of here, dude.
I always think of this issue when they bring up the voter ID stuff and how voter ID is racist. And I'm thinking to myself, like, are you saying black people can't go to a DMV and get an ID? Because that's really fucking weird, guys.
Dude, I mean, Biden said it, right? 1,000 fucking times. He was like, these poor black people can't go to a computer. I'm like, are you saying that black people don't know what a computer is? Like, what are you saying right now? This is crazy.
And then Kamala at one point she doubled down around the same time and said something about how rural folks can't get to the computer right after that. And it's like, now you're just making it look like you think blacks and whites can't get to the DMV equally.
Yeah, they're awful.
Yeah.
In every aspect of the way. All right, Mike Mastercola firing off questions. You guys in the comments, man. Mike's killing you guys. He's crushing it. Mike's first question is: the PA Auditor's Office stated today. Wow, good job, Adam. Stated today that they're no longer The PA Auditor's Office stated today that they are no longer auditing school districts and going back to Department of Education. What will you do to keep school districts from overspending and underperforming?
Oh, God.
After you're done with your vape hit. Laura, why don't you answer for your husband?
Well, I think Matt will say abolish public schools. I mean, yeah, a lot of these issues are really deep rooted.
Matt just did the classic. I'm going to try to push more smoke down with more smoke. Did you guys all? I hope you all saw that. He was just coughing, stopped and went, hold on, and took another hit of his vape pen. Like, that's going to push it down. That will clear it out.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah, it's you gotta hit more hits in a short period of time. It's multitasking.
He's like, Laura's got this one.
Jesus Christ. All right.
Yeah. So I really should. I know that the PA's school funding system is kind of wonky. Now, what the governor can do exactly about that, I mean, I don't really know. But other than totally eliminate public schools, I definitely don't support the idea of the state giving money to schools. I know that's probably set by law, but
school choice. That's what.
Oh, yeah,
that would be a good option.
I mean, that's a good point. I mean, if we're gonna have a public school system or public school funding, I definitely support the idea of school choice, which Pennsylvania at least has online charter school options, which is good. But yeah, I guess that's probably what I'd push more school choice, and generally
being able to take your property taxes out and move them wherever you want instead of just having to
hopefully just not pay taxes at all. Get rid of the schools.
Get rid of all the schools.
How did Delaware get away with it, but no one else can?
About what?
Like Delaware, like there's no tax in Delaware.
Oh, what? The no income tax?
There's no income, no state, no fucking clothing. There's no tax. Like, I think
it's because of all the. I have no idea.
It's almost as if it can happen.
Right. So why? But I know I think they make corporations pay for shit.
Yeah, I know that there are a bunch of like banks and things corporate. A bunch of things corporate there. It's like the place to go. So I don't know.
I'm not familiar with the issue, but now I'm definitely going to have to learn everything about it.
Sure, some sort of thing. Who knows? Joe Biden.
The state's 8.7% flat corporate income tax rate leads to tax collections that are the fourth highest in the country.
So you were wrong?
No. I said that they make corporations pay for their taxes.
Wait, I'm sorry. Which tax was the highest?
The state's 8.7% flat corporate income tax rates lead to tax collections that are the fourth highest in the country.
Interesting.
Because there's no sales tax because they compensate it for corporations.
Right.
That's why.
There's definitely more to that.
No, for sure.
Episode 2.
But also, like, I'm so at the point with like fuck philosophy and my like political stuff. I'm like, can I just not pay for things that are super expensive anymore? I don't care how we do it. like what do we gotta do? Comedy stuff? I'll do comedy stuff. What do we gotta do? I don't want to pay $5 for gas anymore. Like, what do we gotta do?
Adam Nutter's reached the point where he may turn violent.
What you need is a basin and a power drill. right? And you go and you find other vehicles.
Okay, cool.
And,
Siphon gas. I'm a for it. I'll siphon gas.
Oh, not siphoning. Apparently, the thing to do now is you drill holes in your gas tank. That's the thing to do.
No, it's not as fun.
Yeah, it gets
It's not
past
as
the whole
old.
locked gas cap thing, though. It
Oh,
kind of fucks you though,
Fucking
as
locks.
a car owner.
one of the funniest cop moments of all time was they were just like patrolling and they just like roll up on some guy like trying to like siphon gas through a hose and he just stands up. He's like, I was just like checking the floor. He's like holding a hose and like fucking bucket. I'm like, oh, dude, lie better.
Let's talk about Cops. The show in the 90s that depicted police officers.
Yo, they
How
killed
about-
they killed the cameraman.
Yeah, like what the
Really?
fuck?
Oh, that's why the show stopped for a while. And like this happened in like 2017.
What a
They were-
horrible idea for a show.
I mean, no, hold on, Laura. I'll get to that in a minute. Hold on, because that's a crazy thing you just
Okay,
said.
it's a great idea for a show.
It's a
I
great
mean,
idea, Laura.
all
It's the best
right,
idea
all
for a
right.
show.
I
That's
rescind.
just crazy. You said that. How dare you? No, it was like 2017 where they went to like an on scene robbery, like gun. You know, like they were robbing like a fucking fast food joint, and they just opened fire in the vestibule, and the camera of the sound guy got fucking clipped a bunch by the cops and died in the vestibule. It was fucking terrible.
Oh my god.
So when you were a member of the law enforcement
Yeah.
community, how many times a year did you have to qualify with your weapon?
Twice.
That's not bad.
I wasn't
That-
good.
No. Could you actually it's pretty terrible. Yeah, like, could you actually hit something, or would you
So okay,
three
it was
rounds and kill 30
no the test was like 5 shots from 25 yards out, which again, a rifle, which we didn't have to qualify with. The rifles are easy, right? Rifles are like it's hard to miss the rifles, but they're pretty accurate. A Glock, on the other hand, I struggled with, and 25 yards out with the Glock. Hey man, you might as well throw a rock and hit. I was way more accurate with the football 25 yards out than a gun. I'll tell you that much right now.
I mean 25
sure.
25 yards is pretty far for a pistol. That's really pushing.
And I missed like 4 out of 5 shots every single time.
Yeah.
And then it was 15 yards out. Missed a handful of those too. And then 7 yards, which is almost impossible to miss.
Yeah.
7 yards is so close.
And that's pretty much how
Insane.
close you should be using your pistol.
Yeah.
I mean,
And that was it. And you just had to do like I think like 80 something percentile or 70 something percentile to
Oh.
qualify.
so 70% of your bullets had to hit the right target. And
Yeah. Yo, one time some other guy shot my target twice in the middle. I was like, I'll take those.
nice.
I
Meanwhile, that was like like little Timmy, like that he inadvertently clipped.
Yeah, no, I didn't care. Hey, it passed me.
I didn't even think I knew you were a cop. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I've talked about this multiple times in the past, and it just doesn't. I mean, I don't talk about it like I mean, I'll talk about it if it comes up. So this is okay. I'll talk about it again because a lot of people are watching right now, and I'll say it again for everybody out there. This is what happened. I started comedy at 18 years old. Okay, I was a comic first. People think that's not the case. It's not true. I was a comic first at 18. Living in Staten Island, I started comedy at 18 in New York City. And I was doing comedy for like 2 years, from 18 to 20. I was doing comedy and working at fucking Modell's, the sporting goods. I was doing those two things. And I was a kid, and my parents were like, are you going to make money ever? And I was also going to college, too. Like, I was doing it all. I was doing a lot of things. And playing football and doing MMA. I had a fucking very early 18, 19, 20-year-old life, okay? I was doing a lot of shit. So fuck you guys. Staten Island is a very right conservative leaning. It's the only conservative leaning place in New York City. Okay, so that's important to understand too for this. So like growing up my whole life, most of my family are like cops, firemen, sanitation, teachers, like they're city employees, and all I knew growing up was this: get a pension, retire early, fucking you'll be done at 41 years old. That's all I've ever heard. Like growing up, my whole fucking life.
That's the life. That's the life you run, right? That's like the career that everyone knows, right?
That's all I know around me. Like all my friends, parents, and brothers and older like that's everyone's doing that. Like it was literally the borough of city workers. Like that's it. And so at 20, I was like, oh shit, I gotta make money. like comedy is like, because of course you're not gonna make money at comedy 2 years in. Like of course not. Like you suck. You know, like so. I panicked and I was like, oh, I hate bullies. and like cops stop because again I'm a dumb kid and I don't know all the things, right? Like I knew I wasn't a Republican.
Your frontal lobe isn't formed.
Yeah, I knew I wasn't a Republican and I knew I wasn't a Democrat, right? I didn't know what libertarianism was at 20 years old, 21 years old for sure. I've saw who Ron Paul was, like, oh, I like this guy, but I didn't really follow him in 2008. Like, I was 21. Like, I just turned 21, right? I was like a fucking kid. And I took the test. They called me right away. I left college. I didn't graduate. I went 4 years and didn't graduate college.
Good decision. Very good decision.
It doesn't matter. Honestly, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I left college early, went into police academy. And again, I go in with the mindset of like, oh, I hate bullies. So I'm here to like help people. And they're like, wrong profession, dick. Like, you're here to fucking do what we tell you to do. And like right away, you're like, oh no, like right away. And then I'm in it now, right? And I worked on Staten Island, which was good. And also was cool was at least like I worked midnights, which was cool. And I worked in a precinct that was predominantly white, like 90% white people. So I never dealt with any racial shit. And then me and like a few other guys just policed how we thought we should police. Like we just dealt with violent crime and theft.
Yeah,
like we like any drug shit. We were like,
yeah,
you know, I could go like we never took action on it. I never had a drug arrest or drug anything in my life. I would only try to do violent crimes, which again I think should be illegal anyway, right? We all think you shouldn't beat your wife. We all think robbery should be illegal.
Well,
I mean, on occasion, this is what they say. It's just like fucking. It was what. So what happened was though, I hated it. Right, I hated it. Like I hated what I was doing. I was also in the stop and frisk, Commissioner Kelly era, so I was forced to do that and break rights all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Because you just had a sergeant being like, "Yo, stop that guy," and you're like, "For why?" He's like, "Because," and you're like, "Oh," and like you can't disobey a lawful order, and then. So I was like, I was looking for a way out, but then I had a kid. And I was like, well, now I need money. So then I felt stuck, and I was like, I'm gonna try to get on K9 at least, so it will get me the fuck off, and I'll just do because K9 New York, like it's not like the rest of the country. K9 they didn't do anything. Like they just made him stand in the trains. Like that's what they did.
They just the guys standing around with like their dogs and
that's it.
Tough.
They never patrolled. It wasn't like that. They would just like go stand in a spot. I was like, oh, I'll love that with the dog. Like I'll do that. But then I got hurt. And they're like, "You're done." I was like, "Yes." So I mean, I couldn't. My brain's all fucked from all the fucking head trauma and shit. I kept getting car accidents and plus all the years of football and MMA. But some all fucked up from it. But that was my dumb fucking. That's what happened to me. Yeah, and that's my story. But that's so I was. But then I got back into comedy, obviously, full time.
I mean, it's a good choice. I mean, honestly, like definitely don't be ashamed of your police experience because it gives you a lot of your character as your character, and that you made that choice, well, even consciously or not, to exit out of the career, and that you felt wrong there, and you knew enough to...
Like I talked to my dad about this. I was like, I definitely will never I will never forgive myself for just doing that stuff to people, even though like I was, I guess, kind of forced under it. But I guess I wasn't really forced. I could have quit. But then, like, again, the whole kid thing, you're like, I fucking don't know what I'm going to do. I didn't graduate college. I left for this dumb fucking thing. Like, so I definitely have regrets that I'll never forgive myself for. But at least I'm out of it now. And like, at least I'm a voice to be like, don't go into government work, especially police stuff. So I can at least tell you not to do it because, like, again, we tried our best, me and a group of those guys, to police how we thought we should. But at the end of the day, we were still getting told what to fucking do. And we were still, So
I was in the Army. I was an officer. And one of the things that really kind of blew my mind in officer candidate school, they're teaching you a lot about how you basically lead men into war, and the amount of psychology involved in getting young kids to do stupid things is impressive. And this is a well-studied thing. And I don't know if the police do this, but in the military, at the very least, they take advantage of that. And when you're below 27 or so as a male, your frontal lobe is not fully developed and you make poor decisions. And that makes you great for executing the will of the state. So I mean, I think there's a lot of you said to, if you do stupid things when you're younger and then you get a little bit older, you realize that it was stupid. Like I joined the National Guard at 27. So I was an adult. I was one of the older guys there. And I did it for shits and giggles. And really talking to guys who were, just a few years younger than me, and like the level of maturity difference was just staggering to me. And it's like, These people are children. These are children that we are manipulating and convincing to destroy their lives, and it's really like heartbreaking, and it's in a calculated fashion, right? And it's not like by accident
for no reason, really.
And yeah, really for no reason. We're taking the best, the brightest, the bravest, like hardest working guys and girls at times,
and girls, but just
in our
sometimes.
society,
Only sometimes.
we're tapping in and we're taking advantage of those good qualities, and we're using them to execute the whims of psychopaths in DC. And it's horrible, and like that's the main reason why I bailed, because I couldn't handle that, dealing with young kids and be like, yeah, go die.
What they did in the obviously NYPD was different, right? We weren't sending anybody. No one was going to war. It wasn't like that. It was just, so they would, because remember, like, oh, quotas aren't a thing because that's legal. Wink.
Mhm.
But so
Yeah,
it's like this thing of like, so yeah, they can't fire you. Like, you won't get fired, right? Like, for sure, you definitely won't get fired. No, like they can't. Like, the unions get like but here's what they do: they fuck with you. They fuck with your livelihood, that's what makes you submit.
Yeah.
Because especially like, okay, for non-New Yorkers, this might be a little hard to understand, but like New York, the boroughs aren't a nightmare to traverse, like a literal nightmare. Okay, Staten Island is separated from the other. Like, it's literally, it's an island. The only way to get to Manhattan is via ferry, the Staten Island ferry, or you have to drive over a bridge. That, like, the Verrazano through Brooklyn, or
That
one
is
of the
the
Jersey
definition
bridges.
of an island.
Yes.
For anyone in the
So-
audience who doesn't know.
Like, it's 4 bridges and a fucking ferry. That's it. It's all we had. So like, and it's also, it costs mad money. It takes it to get from my house, my parents' house in the southern tip of Staten Island to Brooklyn. It would take an hour and a half easily.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 hours. And it's not far. I need to make that clear. Distance wise, it's not far. It's very close to Staten Island to Brooklyn. Okay, it's not, but it will take about 2 hours to get there. You could get halfway through the state of Pennsylvania in 2 hours, almost.
Yeah,
and it's wild. So like,
it's a horrible drive too. Like the
horrible.
experience.
It's stopping.
Yeah.
It's constant stop and go, stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. Stop
Assholes
and go.
trying to get ahead of you, and it's just
the
awful.
worst. So here's what they'll do: if you don't conform, they go, oh, you're working midnights, making extra money on Staten Island, 5 minutes from your house. Oh, and you have a family, so midnights are helpful for you. Okay, cool. Well, now you're gonna work day tours, and that's okay. That might be a nightmare for some people, right? Working like 8 to 3 or 8 to 4 because like childcare. Their wife might have she might be a nurse or a teacher. Now who's gonna take care of the kid? So that might be a problem. Okay. Now if you keep not conforming, they go, hey, you know what? You're gonna get transferred to the Bronx, and you're gonna do day tours in the Bronx. Sorry. So now if you live on Staten Island, to get to the Bronx every morning, 5 days a week, you have to leave your house at fucking 3:30 in the morning. I'm not kidding. To make it there for 7:15.
So
they fuck with you. Yeah, they fuck with you. So of course you're gonna write the fucking ticket. Like, you're like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna fucking do that. So it's like, that's what they do to you. And that actually happened to my lieutenant at the time, who's a good dude. When Hurricane Sandy hit, which is really bad for us, hit Staten Island pretty rough. There was so many burglaries afterwards because the homes were abandoned, right? Just because people had to leave and these homes got destroyed. But people would just walk in, kick the fucking door open, and just steal jewelry and all this shit, and they would call us, and we would come and we would report it as a burglary because it's a burglary, and the upper officers it's flood damage, lost in the flood.
Oh my God.
Because it looks bad on numbers if you say burglaries, right? So our lieutenant compiled all the actual and like made a stink about it. And this guy was like 25 years on the job, always did a good job, was always looked out for everybody, like the public and the cops. Like, he was one of like a truly good lieutenant.
Yeah,
and
committed one of the worst crimes you can commit.
Yeah, and then what did they do?
Fucked him real
Bronx,
hard, right?
To the Bronx. They sent him to the Bronx, which is Siberia pretty much. They sent him to the Bronx, and he wound up retiring. He's like, fuck this, dude. I'm not doing this shit anymore. Yeah. So they pushed him out earlier than he wanted to go. But they'll do that shit. They don't give a fuck.
I was about to go to the police academy after college, because I had a communications degree and a criminal justice minor. So I always just planned to go right to the police academy. And then I did my internship in my last semester with the New Jersey State Police. And I was like, you guys are jerks. I kind of want to legislate. I really wanted to help people.
That's exactly it. So you go and
you
think
guys
of
aren't
that,
doing
but
that.
they talk a lot of you versus them.
Yeah. Yep.
That's
Yep.
how it's not like, oh, we're all one. It's a lot of, you gotta watch out for each other out there. It's like
Yeah.
I get what they're, but it's like I get the sentiment, but it's like, nah, dude, that's not how it's coming off. You kind of, especially they openly say we're the biggest gang in New York City, the LPPA, and they are.
Yeah.
I mean, for sure, because like, and this is the truth. And the guys who say all the time, like, like in situations that might have been going sour, guys look at somebody and be like, all I have to do is grab this radio, and I would have 45 guys here stomping your fucking skull in. And he's right. Like, he's right. That 100% is true. Because New York is New York, and help is at every corner. It's not like these other fucking places where like, oh, I need help. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3, and you're waiting. NYPD is like, yo, it's fucking 1013, which is like, oh shit, hit the fan. You call for 1013, you have every precinct in a fucking connecting radius of your precinct coming to help.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're coming with violence. Trust me. They're like, who are we fucking up?
Right.
It's wild, dude. It was a wild time. I've seen a lot of crazy shit in those 8 years.
No doubt. So like one thing that really
also, guys, I have to go in 5 minutes because I have to do another podcast.
All right.
Oh, aren't you
Sorry.
so popular?
No, the culture is a big thing in the police departments. Something can be different. And like I saw a lot of the New Jersey State Police training from being the National Guard, and the way they treat their recruits, the state police, is like horrible. It's insane. It's like I'm being trained to go, fight in a war, and I'm being treated more kindly than the guy who's being treated to go and like write parking tickets.
Yeah.
And it's like, wonder why he's the one going to be bashing in people's skulls. And
especially, like, I knew some kids from high school who became like cops and shit. I'm like, oh, you guys are psychopaths. Like, you guys are psychopaths in high school. Like, and now you're out here like fucking with authority and like actually like beating people up and just walking away.
Right. They're like the bullies in school.
Yeah. It was crazy. It was fucking crazy.
Get paid for being a dick.
Yeah. So Matt, I know it's only like 5 minutes, but in 5 minutes time, I guess if you just want to throw out like what your goal is here as a candidate and what you're going to try to accomplish if you do win.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, my main strategy is really to spread the message of liberty, especially as it comes to the state and the concepts of greater federalism and support of nullifying federal authority and standing up for ourselves as a state, as a sovereign people, and really just spread that message to implant that mind virus into the people I can reach by this candidacy and let that doubt in the state grow and hopefully we'll grow the movement further. Like I've said before, I doubt that I'd ever be allowed to take office in a million years, but we will try. And but the main goal here is to spread the message far and wide, and to show people that the Libertarian Party is, serious, and that we are talking about the things that matter most today. So, yeah.
No, that's good. That's perfect, dude. I agree, and obviously, I'm a big fucking supporter of you, both of you guys, and obviously we're friends, so it's biased, but whatever.
Vote for me.
No, I won't. I won't vote for you though. Don't tell me what to do. How about that, man?
I do what I want.
I do what I want. I'm gonna vote for fucking. I'm gonna no to you. No, okay. Of course, you will be my fucking vote. Laura was my vote for secretary. That's
I'm not the secretary, but it's okay.
I mean, treasurer. Jesus Christ,
I did have 5 votes for secretary.
Treasurer,
though,
sorry. Laura, my vote for treasurer, and Greg Deal. I did no to Greg Deal though. Greg Deal could go fuck himself for secretary. No, I'm kidding. Greg's awesome. Greg's the man. I'm just fucking with him. I'm probably not even here. I'm just shitting on him for no reason. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me. This was fun.
Thank you for having us.
No, this is definitely, again, open invite anytime you want. Just no dogs for kids. because
Yeah, we'll work on that.
they'll have to
Can
be killed. They'll have to be put down next time for sure.
Can I plug some?
Plug away, please.
So check out my website, matthackenburg.com. Also Twitter, same thing, matthackenburg.com. Well, Matt
No,
Hackenburg at Matt Hackenburg.
It's Matt Hackenburg, PA.
No, it's
Okay, never mind.
The Facebook page is Matt Hackenburg, PA. So like, share, and subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe. Welcome back to my channel.
And yeah, well, let's do this together.
Yeah,
Be a good
fuck
time.
yeah, awesome. Laura, you have anything to plug?
No.
Cool. All right, don't leave. I want to say goodbye off air real quick after when I pull it off. All right, everybody, thanks for listening again. Go follow me on social media. Come to the shows April 16th, next pop-in show. Dropton.com social for tickets. Everybody, it's been a fucking blast as always. Peace out.
Thanks for listening. Find Adam on social media, Twitter and IG at Adam Nutter, or Facebook and TikTok at Adam Nutter Comedy. And for podcasts and merch, check out www.droptent.com. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.
This has been a Drop Tent Media Production.